We are finally live with the men's podium of the 2025 Black Canyon 100K. I've got Seth Ruhling, Will Murray, and Joe McConaughy. Thanks for taking the time to sit down, chat about the race. It seemed like watching it from, really a front row seat from start to finish. Seems like there was probably three pretty different experiences out there. But starting with you, Seth, you were definitely, gluing yourself to the front from the entire time. Curious just to hear about like the race plan that you had going into it, what the execution was like, and if there was any major pivots that you made midway through.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not one to have like a set race plan. Like I think I have to feel it out on the day, and I felt like being at the front was something I could do. I didn't know we were running that fast, to be honest. But yeah, it's just like I think it does something to my mind knowing where everybody is. Like it's like no secret that I struggle with like mentally staying in these long races, and part of that is it kind of eases some of that by knowing where everybody is and where I am. And the only way to do that in these long races is sort of staying at the front. So I was pretty confident that I had the ability to be up there at the front the whole race. It's just, you never think it's actually going to happen like that. So it's cool. Yeah.
Will, you were probably perhaps the surprise of the day. I'm curious if it was a surprise at all to you, and at what point during the race did you feel like I'm committed to this, like we're all in on this golden ticket chase, or did that start before the race even started?
It wasn't a big surprise to me. I know that a lot of people wouldn't be expecting me to be at the front, but I knew I could do it. And the reason I'm here is to be in the top three, but I set myself goals that didn't have anything to do with results. And that really eased my mind. And I knew I had to be there at the front, but then kind of like Seth said, just feel it out. And yeah, I mean, being at the front, it just gave me even more confidence. I feel like I've been earning self-belief for a year and a half now, and I finally earned enough to get a good result. So.
Joe, you seem to come into this with a slightly different approach. I mean, one that I guess has been somewhat classic for you. When you finished, I heard you yell, "I'm 1 for 8." Talk to me more about the 1 for 8, and was that a mantra throughout the race? Like, I'm going to be 1 for 8 now. Like, take me through your day.
Yeah, so I've done 8 golden ticket races now, and I started in 2017, and I've gotten 4th, 3rd, DNF, had really bad races, and this was kind of those things aren't working very well. I really kind of went into this not putting a lot of pressure on myself. It's like when you race that distance so many times, you start to like overthink things, and you start to think about how good you actually are, and like maybe you're really just like not as talented as you think you are. But I always believe in myself, always think I have the opportunity to do so. I like racing more from the back, kind of the opposite of Seth's approach, which usually means I get like 4th or 3rd and have a consistent great race, but then don't put myself out there. And it was just fun to have a day where, I kept, catching up. Every 5 miles I'd pass 2 people. So I was just kind of feeling the vibes the whole day, excited, stoked. And then when I got to the finish line, it was a weirdly like emotionless race. Like when I passed 3rd place, I was like, I'll just keep running. Like my pacer was like, "Oh, dude, 3rd place." And I was like, yeah. And then when we finished, it kind of all hit me. So it was a really, I don't know. I'm so hyped. I'm so stoked. And I'm also really honored to share the podium with these guys, because like, damn, that's hard to, take it out hot and then do your race or feel like people see you as an underdog and then deliver so well. Like that's a really awesome performance. So.
Seth, you were talking about running from the front, trying to stay engaged. At a point during the day, though, you did make the decision or the choice, like, I'm going to win this race. When you made that move in the front, like a little bit past mile 40, was that like, at this point, I am not giving up the lead, or what was that moment like?
Yeah. You're louder. Yeah. I like. I don't know. I kind of thought earlier I was gonna take, like, before I made that pass, I was like, I'm pretty sure I got this one, but what I didn't realize is that these guys were so close behind me at certain points. I thought I was like blowing everybody out of the water, and then like I look back at one point, I'm like, oh no. So, yeah, I don't know. I made the pass, and like I said, I thought that was the nail in the coffin. But honestly, like probably like 2 or 3 minutes after I passed Eli, I actually like vomited a few times, and like I'd never vomited in a race before, and I had a high school buddy who used to race cross, and he used to vomit, and he used to say, oh, you just feel so much better after you throw up. And like this time I was like, yeah, he's right. Like I felt so good after each time I vomited. So yeah, I guess there was like, I don't know, I think I like scared my crew and pacers a little bit there, but it actually was like a net positive. So yeah, I don't know, it just felt, it's cool. I kind of like Joe here, like a little bit of an emotionless race. Like in a way, like I think the desert and the sun zaps all the emotion you have. So yeah, I guess it was kind of pent up till the end.
So speaking of having like a second win during the race, well, we were talking a little bit about a little tumble that you took. You've got some good, I don't know, like mementos to take home. Could you take me through this fall a little bit, but then also how that ended up maybe kind of turning into a positive for the rest of the race?
So I was up there with Seth and Eli, and coming into Deep Canyon Ranch aid station, I was just trying to take my bottles out of my pack so that I could do a quick transition at the aid station, and I took my eyes off the trail and tripped on a rock, went totally headfirst slide, baseball style, down the rocky hill. But I just kept going. I figured, 8 things are going to go wrong with this race. Yesterday, my sister and I, who crewed for me, got stranded at Bumblebee Ranch for like 4 hours with a flat tire. And, a lot of things go wrong, and you just work through it. And then as I was coming out of Deep Canyon Ranch aid station on the dirt road, I kind of got a second wind. And I don't know what it has to do with the fall, but my legs felt a lot better after that. So I figured I should make the most of it.
Joe, you also took a little tumble. You want to take us through that?
Mine was pretty short and sweet. I just kind of like ate shit, and then
Where were you?
I was maybe like mile 25, and I was vibing. I was like, I'm going fast, I'm passing people, and then you're like humbled, and you're like, okay, idiot, like you got to lift your feet off the ground. I have like a really lame gait where I like barely lift my feet off the ground. And so that's sometimes a problem for me. And then I kind of thought I maybe broke my toe for a second, which I'll lose this. I already lost this toenail, so I think I'll just lose the toenail again, I guess. But that's probably the worst thing that happened out of. I know. Well, I did it across the years a month ago, and then from that, I don't know why, but it just kind of wasn't feeling the race, I guess. So this will be the nail in the coffin for my toenail.
So you mentioned doing across the years. I was like, how do you feel about a 130-mile training run about a month before a golden ticket race?
It's really great. Highly encouraged. No, I was trying to make the U.S. team. I was stoked about that. I also want to make a golden ticket race, and then I wanted to race Cocodona or Western States. And so when I first started coaching, I like had this thought. I was like, don't have 2 big A races in a season. It's just stupid. And then I've seen enough people who are like, yeah, thanks for the advice, but no, thank you. And it usually works out for people. Well, not usually. It sometimes works out for people. And so I kind of wanted to just do that for myself and see how it works. And I feel like I had a great day. So I'm kind of hyped on 2 big races in a season, I guess, right now.
So as we kind of wrap things up, I do want to talk a little bit about what between now and Western States might look like for you. If you had previous plans, assuming you would get a golden ticket, what's February to June look like for you, Seth?
Oh, I mean, February, I'm gonna go ski a lot for the first time this winter. I always tell myself I'm never gonna do a February race, and I keep showing up to February races because you kind of have to nuke your whole ski season for that. But yeah, after that, I guess just build, and I'm racing Canyons 50K, which that field looks crazy. And then yeah, I guess just Western States, like. I think this is kind of my A race. I think you have to make a golden ticket your A race. And so yeah, I think just keep doing what I was doing, and maybe add a touch more, and hopefully I don't know. The thought of running 100 miles right now is like a little terrifying, to be honest with you. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to ask about like the actual Western States itself. We can talk about that at another time. But Will, what's your time in between now in Western States looking like?
Well, I'm a teacher and a baseball coach at high school, so now it's baseball season. I'll be pretty busy after classes and everything. I'll try to get my runs in the morning. I'm doing Chuck and Nut, and I used to live in Bellingham, so it's always great to go back there, see some friends, and I just love the place. And then I am actually signed up for Centipede Scramble as well. It's just a competitive race that's close to home, drivable, and it's right after school gets out for summer vacation. And then it's, all on Western States. I'll have a short, 3 or 4 weeks to really focus fully on it after school gets out. But I'll really enjoy the experience, and I can't wait.
Joe, you mentioned having Cocodona on the schedule, and now you have Western States on the dock as well. So are we going to see a Coco States double, or what's the schedule looking like now?
Seth thinks Cocodona's lame. Just kidding. He didn't say that. He didn't. I'm just putting the words in his mouth right now. No, Seth thinks I shouldn't do Cocodona and Western States, and I think I'm going to take his advice. So I'll drop Cocodona and then do Western, and then I hugged a baby that has RSV at the finish line. So if I get RSV, great, I'll be on the couch. I'm also working on a shed. I'm finishing up the electricity right now, so that'll be exciting. And then I'll probably start running again in a few weeks or something. We'll see. But I don't have any race build-up stuff right now, but I'm sure I'll find something.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. Congratulations on an absolutely epic race. One for the history books, for sure. I don't know. Go put your legs up. Get some Neosporin on that or something. But thanks to the live stream, everyone, for tuning into the race and listening to these interviews. But I guess for now, enjoy the time off.